Hello, this is Deborah with Black Education TV. I'm going to be talking about the African judges that are wearing wigs that are a symbol of British colonialism. Thank you to Brother Ruben for sharing this story with us. Now let's get to it. For me, that represents some sort of mental delay that we are seeing in indigenous populations worldwide. Here in America, in Africa, in South America, in the UK, and just worldwide, we are seeing so-called black people who just don't seem to get it, and they have a very short memory or know nothing at all about history. There is this worship of those who have oppressed us. It's not like we're living in a time where oppression has died down and it's lost in the pages of history, where you have to look it up in some book that's 200 years old to even find any evidence of oppression. We are still faced with it every day. And it's just as brutal as it was back then. But there is this mental delay to where our people are saying, well, you know what, let's put the past in the past. But what about today? This mental delay we are seeing where we are celebrating colonialism. Let me just share my own experience, because we have all been infected by this at some point, but many of us have awakened. Some awaken faster than others. Now, when I was very young, I experienced racism, so I've known what it was for a very long time. But there are certain aspects of racism and the mistreatment of our people that we just kind of put on the back burner, depending on where you are in your awakening. Now, when we lived back in Michigan, of course, I was a Christian. I remember when we would see certain styles of homes. Okay, you look through home magazines and you just see these certain styles. One particular style they had was called a plantation home. It's like right there in your face, boom, I'm slapping you with this. This is a plantation home. That's what they called it. And it looked like a typical plantation home. I remember saying, wow, I like the way that house looked. Now, that was that mental delay that I was experiencing back then. Why would I want a home that was fashioned after the home that the big man lived in when our people were being beat out in the fields? Again, that was one of those in-your-face things, plantation home. But it went right over my head at the time. But see, thank Yah, I'm delivered. Thank Yah, I am awake. I wouldn't dare want to live in a home that was called a plantation home. But anyway, back to this story. Those colonial wigs, are you kidding me? This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about right here, where our people worldwide are just so filled with ignorance. Ignorance. So filled with ignorance that it's mind-blowing. I've seen images and videos where people in Africa, African villages, people in South America, in various islands, Haiti. I've seen images of our people actually following behind white men who were dressed like Jesus. And they were behaving almost as if they were in the presence of royalty or in the presence of God himself, God as they call him. That this is the way they behaved, and it was really sickening to see it, you see. Now, there's also images. I remember one video in particular where this guy was interviewing people, African people, and he was asking them what JC looked like, or the son of Elohim. And they proudly pick the white image. Proudly. I remember another video where there was a guy who was asking groups of black people who was the most important person in history for our people. And I believe there was an image of JC, the white JC, Marcus Garvey, and one other person. I can't remember the other black person, but it was two black people. And then there was the white JC. And the majority of our people picked the white JC. And so when we pick our colonial masters to continue to be our massa, it shows that there is a mental delay because we just don't get it. We just don't get it. Those colonial wigs, it kind of reminds me of some of these Christians here in the U.S. And I'm pretty sure Christians, black Christians in other regions may do some of the same things. But here in the U.S., you're starting to see more and more, like I believe Fred Price being one of them, starting to wear the garments that the Catholic Church wears. I mean, the exact same garments, that same staff. Nothing's wrong with the staff family, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about the exact same staff that they wear, that they use and that they carry. The same cap, the same robes, the same exact garments that the Catholic priests are wearing. And we believe it to be some type of status symbol to say, I am separated from these Negro churches over here. I dress like the almighty Pope. Mental psychosis. A mental delay because we can't see what's going on around us. It's almost as if there is a refusal to open our eyes and see what is going on around us. It's right in our faces, but our eyes are wide shut. Why would these black men with these high positions, judges, why would they want to wear? It's like, I'm telling you, I don't understand why men who have reached that status of even being a judge, how could you not know the history behind those wigs? And why? Is this some type of joke? I wish someone could update me on to whether or not this is a joke or some type of spoof, or they're just clowning around. Please, somebody give me a link. I need something to show me that they're just clowning around, that this is not real, that these men are not really wearing these wigs because they think it's the right thing to do, or that it's some type of status symbol, or that it makes them look important. Please, I beg of you, somebody please find me a link, because it is getting more and more disturbing as time goes on to see our people all around the world, in the U.S. and Africa and Canada, the UK and South America, to see our people behaving this way, as if we have just completely lost our cotton-picking minds. Okay, family, I think I'm done with this one, maybe? I'm just still trying to figure this out. Unbelievable. All right. Shalom.